What's going on, y'all? We want to welcome y'all back to the Pull Up Experience podcast, episode 86. And tonight we got my man Phil tonight, and he's going to tell us about everything from his wholesale endeavors to how he has actually grown and scaled his business to where it is now. And then just give us y'all gems for everyone out there who's looking to get into wholesaling. So, without further ado, and we also got my man Dawood, by the way, guest hosting tonight, man. Thank you, by the way, my friend.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, let's introduce yourself to the audience, my friend.
Definitely. So yeah, I'm Phil Moreland from Cleveland, Ohio. Real estate investor, new father.
Congratulations, by the way, man.
Thank you.
Congrats.
And yeah, just entrepreneur, man. Trying to break the generational curses, build wealth, and teach others how to do the same thing.
That's what part of town you from?
Cleveland Heights.
Cleveland Heights. Okay, that's what's up. Heights. That's what's up.
Shout out to the Heights.
Shout out to the Heights. Shout out to the Heights. Okay, so let's start from the beginning, man. Were you in kindergarten say I wanted to get in a hotel, or where did it all stem from?
Not at all. So growing up, I always wanted to. I know I wanted to be something that was. I didn't know the term at the time, but I wanted to be financially free. I always wanted to be financially free. I didn't know the term as a kid, but I always knew I wanted to be. I would see people. I'm like, man, they just able to go on vacations with their families all the time, or they can drive these cars. They got all this stuff. Like it seemed like everything as a kid, but
yeah,
I knew I wanted to be financially free. I just didn't know how. So really, what got me into wholesaling is just being tired of being broke. the same way most of us get into whatever entrepreneur endeavor, like whether our family or us personally broke, like we just tired of it and want more for ourselves. And we see more now, especially in the age that we're in now. You can see everything on your phone, so we see more. So now we know it's more. Maybe you may not know it's more because you in your certain neighborhood.
Yeah.
You don't know nobody that's really rich like that. You don't know nobody that's really getting it like that unless they're doing something illegal. So yeah, just being tired of being broke. When I got out of college, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I was not going to use my degree.
What you got a degree in?
Mathematics.
Okay.
I originally wanted to be an engineer.
Yeah.
Till I got in engineering school. I'm like, nah, I can't. And then they had us meeting engineers here and there, and they like, yeah, we work about 60, 70 hours a week. I'm like, what? Like, my friends is like, why don't you, like, keep being an engineer? You're going to make $100K. I'm like, bro, they work 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I know, because while I was in school, I was learning business stuff. Like, so I wasn't in business school. I was learning business stuff on the side on top of playing football. So I'm learning things. So I know it's more out here, and I know most of the rich people I see are in business or investors. Like, so I'm like, all right, I know I'm not going to use my degree. I'm going to be in business. I just don't know what business I'm going to do. So since I played football, I did pretty well in football. As soon as I got out of college, I started an athletic performance training business. So I'm a trainer. And did pretty well, but wasn't anywhere near a point where I could quit my job or just be... It's not scalable. Being a trainer, in my opinion, it's just not scalable unless you're just selling stuff online, which that's not really what I want to do. I impacted a lot of people's lives, helped a lot of people reach their goals, helped a lot of athletes reach their goals, but I was still broke. Like, I'm still broke. I'm doing well, I'm impacting people's lives, like, which was very fulfilling, but I just don't have enough money. And really the turning point what made me want to do something bigger was I woke up one day. You ever broke and then you don't want to look at your bank account?
Yeah. I think we all been
you don't want to look.
Relate.
It was like I'm down bad. I'm probably like 24, 25. I don't want to look at my bank account. I look at it. It's got negative $300. Negative $300, not $300.
Right, negative.
I got negative $300. I'm like, man, what the hell? Like, what did I do? Like, I go to the bank, they like, you got a week to get the money in, or we're going to keep putting late fees on you. So somehow I got $300 in less than a week. So, but that was the point. I'm like, Phil, I'm not about to be broke no more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not about to be broke no more. I know a little bit of business. I got my own business. Yes, I'm making money. That's how I got the $300. I'm doing sessions for everybody right now. I'm doing sessions for the love for everybody. But that was the turning point where I'm like, all right, I need to do something bigger. I want something with bigger stakes, bigger checks, and I know I can. I always wanted to be something bigger. Like I said, I always wanted to be rich. I always wanted to be financially free. So I'm like, man, I just need something bigger to do. So I'm sitting on the couch watching Breakfast Club interviews, and I watched an interview with a man named Mark Whitten. from Baltimore.
Okay.
So I'm watching his interview. He's talking about how you can get into real estate with no cash, no credit, no experience really, and you can make these big checks. So I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like, man, I ain't got nothing to lose. I said I wanted to do something bigger. I want to find something bigger to do. It seems like it could be it. So I went to YouTube University. If you don't know what that means, I literally just YouTube wholesaling real estate for days. Like I'm just locked in. And one thing about me, when I'm focused on something, I'm focused. Like when I played football, that's why I was an All-American, because I focused on football. Yeah. Like when I was doing my training business, I was focused on my training business. I built a team. I'm training NFL players. I'm training college players. I'm doing all this stuff. So I'm like, all right, this about to be my new focus. I knew I wanted to be in real estate because they tell us all the wealthy people in the world are somehow involved in real estate. Right. So I knew I wanted to be in real estate. I'm like, all right, I want to be in real estate. And they saying this is the way to get in if you don't really have any money at all. So I'm like, all right, let me dive in. I dove in, really watching all them YouTube videos got me my first deal in like 3-4 months. It was a super small deal. It was like $2,500. I made $2,500 on the deal, but that was the proof of concept. That's when I was like, all right, I can do this. Like I really, and it was $2,500. I'm like, I just made $2,500. I ain't really have to do much. It was just from a couple phone calls here and there. Like, but then that's what I learned too, because I spent that whole time focusing on that one deal. I'm like, all right, close that deal. Now I need to do more. Like, so yeah, that's how I got started in it. And then from there, sought more knowledge, got a mentor, and then scaled my business up. In 2020, that's when we really took off. We made about $100,000 in like 6 months. Wow. Like, that was a life-changing time in my life. Like that was really, because before then I was in the business for like 2 years. I'm closing deals here and there, $2,500 here, $5,000 here, $4,000 here. But I'm like, I can do this bigger. And on top of, I'm going to different real estate meetings, meeting all these different people, and that's really what the key is: changing your circle and changing where you're at. At the time, I'm at these real estate meetings. I'm meeting millionaires. Like I'm meeting people that's been doing this for 20 years, 10 years, 30 years. Like. Up, and they telling me, they like, bro, you're doing all the right things. Like, you're doing all the right things. Just keep going, keep doing it, keep showing up, keep meeting people. You're doing all the right things. So that's what really kept me going. On top of just knowing my why. I know I wanted to be financially free. I know I wanted to be in a bigger business. So yeah, sought out a mentor after them 2 years because I wasn't doing it efficient enough. And once I got that guidance, that's when it was we closing deals every week, every month. But that also taught me, you got to do something with your money. Like, I'm making all that money at that time. And then I remember me and my friends went to Atlanta. And then I closed, right before we went to Atlanta, I closed like 3 deals, 8,000, 7,000, 4,000. So I just closed all these deals. I'm about to go to Atlanta. I don't care. If you ain't got money, if you ain't got money, we all good. We good. We all good while we here. Like, but that's kind of how that whole experience was when we made all that money at that time. Then I learned, like, you got to reinvest back into your business. You got to reinvest back into your mind. You got to learn new things. You got to grow and scale this business. So now it took me all the way to the point now where I got employees. We getting deals. We getting leads every day. We closing deals every week. And I'm pretty much living a dream right now, in my opinion, of I could just make money. I quit my job a long time ago. I just know how to make money now. You making money pop up out of thin air in wholesaling. Like, you really making money pop up out of thin air. And like, people think you can't do it with a job. I started off with a job. Like, when I did it, they think you need money to do it. I started off with negative $300. Right. Like, I started my business with negative $300. So you don't need money to start. You really just you gotta have a drive, you gotta have a purpose, you gotta know why you're doing it, and then just seek information, change your circle, and shoot, it's off to the races from there. And everybody's journey different, but yeah, it's been very, very great to me, for sure.
No, listen, I love your story, bro. That's one for the books right there.
Appreciate you.
So let me ask you this though, because I know, so one, I want to thank you for coming on. So right now, these episodes will be shown inside of the high schools or whatnot to entrepreneur classes.
Nice.
So let me ask you this for the audience: how does one? what is wholesaling per se? Because I know they know the term, but what does it actually mean to wholesale?
So basically, in the most basic terms, wholesaling is you're middleman in a deal. So you're finding a buyer of a house. I mean, you're finding the seller of a house. You're finding a buyer for that house, and you get what's in between. So, but the way that you make your spread, you can't just find any house that somebody's looking to sell, get under contract, and sell it to somebody. You got to find distressed property.
Yeah.
Like distressed property means either the house needs work, the seller's in some type of situation where they need money fast, because we're providing a service.
Yeah, right.
At the end of the day, so we're providing a service for both the seller and the buyer, and that's in any business. You're providing a service, and the better you're able to provide that service and give value, the more you're gonna get paid. So a lot of my leads, like a lead today, it's a man. His mother passed away in a house like 2 years ago. The house just been sitting vacant. He's like, man, it just brings me bad memories, like, or just the memory of her passing in that house. He's like, man, I just want to get rid of it as quickly as possible. Yeah. So now I send him a text saying I want to buy the house. I'm his solution. Yeah. Now I get that property under contract. Let's say I get under contract for $50,000. Now I have this contract for $50,000 to purchase this property. I didn't use any money to get this contract or nothing. I'm just under contract to buy it for $50,000. Now I'm gonna take it to my buyers and find somebody that wants to buy it for $60,000. So I got this contract for $50,000. I have a buyer for $60,000. Go to the closing table. Boom! I just made $10,000 without using any of my cash, any of my credit. I didn't have to buy the house. I didn't have to get a loan. I didn't have to do none of that. All I did was put this seller and this buyer together, and I get paid to provide that service for both of them.
That's dope,
and the service that you provide for the buyer, a lot of the buyers don't want to take the time to find all these great deals. There's a lot of deals out there. It's endless deals. It takes time to find all these deals.
Absolutely.
So my job is to find great deals for my buyers and buy this house quickly with no hassle for my sellers.
I love how I think you put it in this, because I know a lot of people like to overcomplicate things, but you put it in a way that I feel like anyone can understand. So thank you, by the way.
And that came from when I was tutoring. Before we filmed, I told him I was tutoring at my old high school when I got out of college. That was my first job out of college. And I learned that I was most of the kids' favorite tutor, but it was because I'm good at math. Most people need help in math. Yeah. But I know how to explain math in a super simple way. Like, so I'm like, oh, it's not that they don't really get it. They're just not getting explained to it in a simple enough way where they can digest it.
Absolutely.
Like, you telling them, take the inverse of this and do this and this and that. They don't know what inverse means.
I don't know what inverse is.
I say, hey, if you got 10 cookies, like if you got 10 cookies and I took out 2 cookies of each, like how many? Oh, okay. Like it's just really dumbing it down. So from tutoring them kids, I learned like we're all like that. Like, we all just need a simpler version of you can get all the crazy details later, but like the simplest way to explain something to people, that's how it's easy to digest, it's easy to take it in, and then you can do all the work to find all the details. Like, there's always little details that we need to figure out in anything, but you got to be able to explain it in a simple way for people to understand.
So I want to go back to, let's go back to I want to ask what your best deal was. I want to go to that last, but I want to go to your deal where you was like, oh man, I should have done that, or not, I should have done that, but like I learned a lot from this deal.
So before I close any deal, I made a post the other day saying I did a lot of bad deals before I had a good deal. Like, so before I made that $2,500, I signed a lot of bad deals, like basically, and like I didn't risk anything, but this property, I put up $1,000 earnest money. Like, I don't know why I put up $1,000 earnest money. I was young in the game, I didn't know, like, or whatever, and it seemed like a good deal. So got under contract. It's at a good price to me. So I go to find my buyer, and then come to find out, I brought a couple buyers in there, a couple of them was interested, then I brought the same buyer back on the day that it rained. The day that it rained, we went in the house, went to the basement, the whole basement is flooded. He's like, oh, I can't buy this house.
That's crazy.
I'm like, man, what the hell? But it was after the due diligence period. So if I would have canceled that contract before the 2-week due diligence period, I wouldn't have been risking my $1,000. Like, really, if you gonna risk some money on a deal, pull out if you feel like you can't sell it. Yeah. Like, I didn't know that at the time. I'm young in the game. I don't really know. I'm thinking I'm gonna sell it. So So yeah, went past the due diligence period. All my buyers said no because the price is too high for it's got a foundation issue now. And then I had to get this lady $1,000 before I made anything. So now I'm taking a loss.
Yeah.
Like, I'm taking a loss before I even get started. I'm like, man, but I don't know. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I learned to never put up $1,000 on the contract ever again. Like all the earnest money I put down now, I put $100, but most of the time they don't even ask for the $100. I used to put $0, but somebody told me that you gotta put something down. Yeah, you gotta put something down on it. So now I just put $100 down. You don't have to give them the $100 if you cancel the contract before the due diligence period. So you're not risking any money as long as you're doing it the right way.
No,
but yeah, that was my worst deal because I lost $1,000.
Well, you learned though.
Yeah, I learned. Like I paid that. This is what one of my mentors told me. He like, you paid $1,000 for a learning lesson.
Absolutely.
Like I paid $1,000 to learn. Like, oh, this is what a foundation issue looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what you should not put on the contract.
Yeah.
Like, this is what your due diligence period should look like. You should cancel it before the due diligence period if you don't think you got a buyer. Like, I learned that, and I never did it again.
Yeah. Listen. Because everybody say I've learned the hard way too on some things, especially being a real estate agent. So yeah, I understand 100%. But let's talk your best deal. And I don't know. I'm about to assume it was what you told earlier, but it might not be or whatnot.
No, so I don't even remember what deal that was. But I'll say my best deal. It wasn't the highest grossing deal I've had ever, but it was the highest grossing at the time. So my best deal, it was this older woman. She lived in the house for like her whole life, and her husband passed like 10 years before. She was like, yeah, this house is just too much for me now. I don't really want to deal with it, and I honestly don't care how much I get for it. Like, I'm like, okay, like, okay.
Born to hear.
Right. So I asked her, I'm like, all right, because her plan was to move to Florida with the money. So I'm like, all right, and she got a daughter down there, so she's gonna move with her daughter. So I'm like, how much do you need to be able to go to Florida? And that's a common question I use when I'm talking to sellers. How much do you need to walk away from this? Because I don't want to make anybody feel like they got or they don't get enough. I want everybody to win. I want the seller to win. I want me to win. I want the buyer to win. But more importantly, I want the seller because that's the problem that we solving. So yeah, she was like, really, I just want $15,000. I'm like, okay, like, but once we agreed to $15,000. I'm like, honestly, cause I knew I could sell it for way more. I'm like, I'll give you $17,000. I'll just give you an extra $2,000.
Yeah.
Like, just cause I know I'm gonna be able to get this house off. So yeah, I sent it out to my buyers at $30,000. So I would have had a $13,000 spread. The highest deal I had before that was like $8,000. So I would have had a $13,000 spread. Sent it out to my buyers. A whole bunch of buyers came. They all wanted it. Like all the buyers wanted it. So
was it a bid war?
Yes, and that's how I got the price up to $32,000. I could have took it up more, but I didn't. I wanted to build a relationship with the buyer. I didn't want to just go back and forth. That's good. Like because it's more. You'll get way more money from building a relationship than trying to extract every penny that you can get. Like I made so much money with so many buyers because I'm giving them great deals. Yeah. Like it's not the fact that I'm just making all this money. I'm providing them great deals.
That's good.
So yeah, I ended up selling it for $32,000, but it was the best deal because this lady was so happy. Like she was so happy to get that $17,000 to go move with her daughter. She don't got to deal with this house no more. She can live the rest of her life. She was like 70-something years old, and then the deal closed and like it really took 2 weeks from the day that I had the buyers come through. It took 2 weeks, so in total it took like 3-4 weeks. Made $15,000 in a month, less than a month.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, man, that was the biggest deal I had at the time. I'm like, man, I just made $15,000.
Right.
Like
in less
than a month, easy. Like it was so easy. The lady was so nice. It wasn't like a lot of the sellers you talk to. They most of them don't want to hear you talk. Yeah. But some of them they like, oh, thank you. Yeah. Like, oh, I've been looking for somebody. I want to sell this house. Like so, she was super grateful. The buyer was super grateful. It was a buyer I've been wanting to sell something to for years at that point. So yeah, that was probably the best deal I did because she was so happy. My buyer was happy. I made my first deal over $10,000. Like, and I'm like, all right, like I can really do this business at a high level. Like, I can really do this. So yeah, that was probably my best deal. For sure.
So I got a question for you too. I know you had talked about kind of the transition from when you first started, you know what I'm saying, making money, doing a deal here and a deal there, to actually doing $100,000 in 6 months. What was the biggest transition that took place from when you were kind of here and there hitting the deal? I know you said you got some coaching and mentorship, but what things did you actually implement to cause that major transformation?
That's a good question. So so when I got that mentorship, it was a $5,000 mentorship. Didn't have $5,000, so I took out a credit card, swiped it, maxed it out. So what that mentorship taught me mostly is I was doing all the right things the wrong way. Basically, I was doing all the right things the wrong way, and a lot of times when we try to do everything ourselves, we'll end up in that position. I'm doing all the right things on YouTube. They said do this, they said do that, but are you saying the right things to the seller? Are you saying it the right way? Or how does your contract look? Or how consistently are you marketing? What's your marketing say? Like, so that's really what it taught me. What was the little details? I was always been a hard worker. I've always been grinding. Anything I'm doing, I'm gonna grind to the fullest. But you can grind to your hardest and be doing all the wrong things. Like, you can grind your hardest up to sundown grinding, but if you're doing the wrong things, you're not really gonna see no results. Like, so that was the biggest thing it taught me. It was like, all right, you're doing the right things, but all right, when you're talking to a seller, you should say this. You should say this after they say this. These are the objections that they're gonna say. This is what you should reply to them with. This is what your postcard should look like. That was another thing too. I wasn't consistent with marketing. Like, I would cold call here and there. Like, but to really get deals consistently, you have to be consistently reaching out to people. Whether you choosing cold calling, texting, postcards, Facebook, whatever, you have to be consistent with it. So that was the main thing that they taught me: the small details and to be consistent with my marketing. If you're consistent with marketing, your phone always gonna be ringing. Like, you always gonna have deals coming in. On my way here, well, now I got employees, so on my way here, my lead manager, she sent me like 2 deals. Like 2 leads that I got to give offers to tomorrow. But like, it's because now that I hire people, they 9 to 5. Like, I got 3 employees all working 9 to 5. So now it's consistent, super consistent, because I got people doing it all day. Like, this is your job. So that's how you scale up. But starting off, you got to be that person that's consistent. Like, and if you work in a job, because like I said, you can do it with a job, you just got to be consistent off work. Like, or change up your marketing. I got a friend, Ricardo. He's an engineer, and he told me when he started off, he was just doing postcards because he had work all day. Like, he don't got time to cold call, so I'm gonna just send postcards away from my phone to ring. That's why I tell people, if you got a job, you can do. There's other ways to do it. Like, so he just waited on his phone to ring. He told me he closed a deal for $10,000 while he at work. Like, while you at work. Like, so yeah, it's always a better way to do things, and that was I had to learn to always seek knowledge. Like, always seek more knowledge. After I finished that mentorship and I made that $100,000, I'm thinking, I'm untouchable now. It's just about to be raining money like every day. But I made all that money. I'm kicking it, shopping, got a new spot, got a new whip, like going out of town all the time. Then I'm like, why am I not closing no deals? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, you're not working no more. Right. Like, you got so comfortable with this money that you're not even working. You're not doing the thing that got you that money. Like, so that was one of the biggest lessons, because every solution brings another problem. Like, so that solution was the mentorship. They teaching me what to do, but now my next problem was, Phil, you're gonna make this money, but you gotta do the right things with this money. You're gonna grow your business, but you gotta stay consistent with it. If you're not gonna hire nobody, because I still didn't hire anybody at that point. If you're not gonna hire nobody, you need to be consistently doing this every day instead of just kicking it. Like, I picked up a lot of hobbies during that time. It was also a good time for me. Like, I started golfing, I started snowboarding, and like, you think we don't snowboard. My brother was snowboarding. I'm like, bro, why are you snowboarding? Why are you snowboarding? He's like, bro, don't knock it till you try it. I went with him one day. I'm like, bro, this shit is so fun. Like, this is so fun. But like, it's between snowboarding, golfing, whatever. I like hobbies that challenge me to be better. Like, as men, we constantly want to be better and find things. You want to find things that you can challenge yourself with. So during that time, while I was not working, I was picking up hobbies, but I'm doing them hobbies too much. I'm just waking up like, I'm about to go golfing today. Cause I got money. I got money. I'm like, I'm about to go golfing today, or I'm about to just go kick it. I'm about to go on some dates. Like, I'm about to go do this, do that, whatever. Like, so you learn you learn as time goes on, as your bank account start to dwindle down, your business not thriving. You like, all right, let me go back to what got me this. Like, let me start learning more. Let me start learning new things. Let me restructure my business. Let me make sure I can do this consistently. And that's the point that got me to my millionaire mindset. Like, we don't want 50,000, 100,000, 10,000. It's cool to have because we grow up not having none of that. Our parents didn't have no money for real. My parents, it was tight on bills all the time. We had everything we needed, but only time I would see them arguing was about money. And I think if I went to a therapist, I think that's why I be wanting money. Like, that's why I grew up wanting to be financially free. I'm like, man, the only thing they're arguing about is money. Like, so if I make money, there ain't nothing to argue about. Like, ain't nothing to argue about.
That's sound logic, in my opinion.
Like, so that's what made me always want some money. But once you get some money, you gotta learn what to do with it. Like I said, every solution brings another problem. But you gotta be able to be real with yourself. Like, if I wasn't real with myself, I could have blamed everybody else. Like, oh, it's because my friends want to kick it all the time, or it's because they keep asking me to go all the time. Like, no, it's because I'm not disciplined, and I'm not consistently working on it. On my business, I'm not consistently learning new things. I stopped networking as much. Like, I'm not doing the things that get me to that point. So now I'm consistent. Or I need to, if I want to have this as a well-oiled machine where I'm really making money, way more money than that consistently, I need to be constantly learning. I need to be constantly working on building my business. I need to perfect my craft. I need to be able to delegate tasks if I really want to grow. Because you'll be working yourself to death in this business sometimes. So you get to the point where, like, all right, I got to get somebody else to do it. If you're really trying to make a lot of money, because you can make a lot of money part-time, you can make even more money full-time. Like, so once I got to the point, and that was another thing, I quit my job, so I got all the time in the world during the day. And that's another thing. That's a whole nother conversation. When you make money and then quit your job and you got the whole day to figure out, like, when you got a job, they telling you got to be here at this time, you got to leave at this time. These are your tasks during the day. Like, when you an entrepreneur and you got a little bit of success and you quit your job, now you are the person that say, all right, you got to wake up early. Like, you need to do these every day. You need to make sure you learn. You need to make sure you scheduling your day out. Same way that your job schedules your day out, you should schedule your day out. And honestly, as an entrepreneur, it don't take as much time to get stuff done. Like, I might take 3 hours a day to work on my business if I don't want to work that much. Like, now I work a little more just because I want to do more. But, like, in wholesaling, you could really work 2-3 hours a day and, like, make a lot of money.
I need to reconsider being lazy, man.
You can really work too. Especially when we made that first $100,000, I didn't work that much because I was only sending postcards. So my phone just ringing. I don't have to do anything. Like, I don't have to do nothing. I send out postcards and wait for my phone to ring.
So so would you say that was your strongest marketing strategy that you experienced throughout your business?
That was my strongest marketing strategy until this past year. I made sure I learned more, did more, and now my strongest marketing strategy has been texting. Definitely texting, because you can reach so many people at one time. Like, because it's platforms where you can send out mass text, so you can reach so many people at one time, and everybody's got a cell phone. Like, everybody has a cell phone. Direct mail still is great to me though. Like, and it's the easiest one in my opinion. It costs a little more money than all the other marketing strategies, but
more effective.
It's
and
definitely
catch those older people who still
you catch them older people that like that older people, especially if your market has a lot of older people like Cleveland does. Direct mail, you can't lose with direct mail. They checking their mail every day. I think pretty much every direct mail, not every direct mail. I've had some guys that are in their 30s, early 40s, but most of my direct mail is older people. But a lot of older people looking to sell their house. They might have a few properties. They're like, I'm 70 years old. Like, a conversation I have a lot of times with sellers, they be like, I'm 70 years old. I'm tired of doing this. I don't want to be a landlord. I don't need these houses. Like, so. Like I said, you providing a service, you helping people. And with that postcard, you go through a lot less no's, a lot less rejection, because if somebody took the time to read your postcard and call you, more than likely they want to sell. More than likely they motivated to sell that house.
That makes sense.
Versus when you cold calling, you're going to talk, 90% of the people you talk to are going to say, get the hell off my phone. Like, stop calling me. Like, even with text messaging, you should see the things that
The
people be
response
texting.
text.
When you texting, they don't have to say nothing.
Right.
They got a phone. They got emojis.
Yeah.
They got a whole man. They be saying
It's
some
like
wild,
road rage.
yeah. They
It's
be
like
saying
road
some
rage.
wild stuff. Like you don't even really need tough skin in this business. You just gotta learn that stuff don't matter.
It don't matter, right.
It's just getting you a no is just getting you closer to the next yes.
That's good.
At the end of the day. So, but yeah, people be wild on text messages.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because I would say this as being a real estate agent. You know what I'm saying? You can put a quarter outside and someone a real estate agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying the same thing for wholesaling, but I know the market is getting more saturated because you get on Instagram, everybody's a wholesaler nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think are some of the skills or the tools you'll need to differentiate yourself among other wholesalers to, to actually become successful?
That's a good question. So one thing I just looked up the other day, in 2021, it was 169,000 houses sold in Ohio. 169,000.
Yeah.
For you to have a successful wholesaling business, what you need, like 10 of those?
Yeah.
Like, I just need 10 to 20. Like, depending on what your spreads are.
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to make 100,000, you got 10 deals for 10,000, you just made 100,000. If you close 4 deals for 25,000,
I need to reset my life.
yeah,
The fact though.
Yeah, that's crazy how you think about it like that. 10 houses, 10,000.
yeah, it's 169,000, 170,000 houses just in Ohio alone. And you can wholesale in different markets virtually.
Right.
Like, but 170,000 houses alone in Ohio that sold last year. Like, just get you 20 of those. You don't gotta, it's people that's starting off, it's people that's been in the game for a minute, it's people that's getting out of the business. So it was a couple years ago, it was somebody that wanted to be a mentee of mine.
Yeah.
So I'm teaching her wholesaling and stuff. Then she ended up quitting like a month later because she's like, yeah, it's so many wholesalers. Because you don't really know how many investors it is until you get into the space.
Yeah.
You go into the meetings, you on Facebook groups, you doing all this stuff. Now it looks like it's a whole bunch of real estate investors. When before you didn't even know these people existed. Like, but you get in the game, you're like, oh, it's so many people, but it's not a bad thing because it's gonna take collaboration for you to get a lot of deals done too. Like, these people like to look at the numbers. When you wholesaling the house, you are contacting a person and then contacting another person. It's all people that you gotta talk to. It's not just numbers at all. So, but to differentiate yourself, really just consistency. Like, consistency, that's really it. Everybody that's in this business isn't consistent. Everybody that's in this business isn't closing deals all the time. Everybody that's in this business doesn't even have the goal to scale up. They might some people just need $20,000 to get out of debt, and they be like, I'm about to move on to something else. Like, I'm about to keep my job, or I want to start this whole other business. There's a lot of wholesalers that get that money and say, I want to shift and do another business. Like, so there's always people coming in, there's always people going out, but there's always motivated sellers. Yeah. Every single day. That's one of the biggest things that, with me scaling up and hiring staff, that's one of the biggest things I realized. I'm like, we can get leads every day. 365 days a year, we can get leads. I'm almost sure, because I never, except when I first started, I never was reaching out to people every day. When you hire staff, it's their job to reach out to people every day. I'm like, man, we really getting leads every day. Yeah. Like, so it's always motivated sellers. Yeah. Like, but you think about it, a lot of these motivated sellers is somebody that, it might be somebody passed away and the house got passed down to somebody and they don't want it. It's people dying every day. That's like, right. It's people that that had a house and maybe somebody reached out to them a year ago and said they wanted to buy it, and they're like, no, get out my face. You don't know what happened in their life the next year. Yeah, they might have got sick. They might need surgery. They might be tired. They might have a new epiphany in their life. I'm like, man, I need to get rid of this house. I need to get rid of this. And it's always motivated sellers, and there's always buyers. Even though the market is turned down, it's still people buying.
Big facts.
Yeah, it's still people buying. Like, people think. That's why I love wholesale. I look at wholesaling as, you know how in stocks they say you can make money on the way up and the way down? I look at wholesaling the same way. When the market's going up, like 2020, 2021, you can sell any deal. It was super easy to sell deals. When the market's coming down, it's still deals getting done. You just got to find better deals to sell. That's it. Like, you just got to find better deals. Maybe last year you would have got this house at $20,000 and you could sell it for $30,000. Now you need to get that house around 14, like 14, 13. And like, it's the market condition. It's not, if you want to sell it for higher, you should probably wait. Like, I tell sellers all the time. excuse me, all the time, I'm like, maybe you should get an agent for this one. Because you want top market value. They be like, oh, it's going to take a long time. Well, that's what you trade.
You're trading, right,
You trading speed and convenience for a little bit of equity in the house.
So the typical transaction is like 60, 30 days or whatnot.
60, 90 days. Like, it's going to take you a good 3 months to sell that house in the market if it's desirable.
Exactly.
If it's desirable. If somehow, houses sit up there for a year.
Yeah.
Like, but if you want a quick transaction, all right, we can get it done quick. But I'm gonna need that house at $15,000. I'm needed at $40,000, whatever the house is worth. Like so yeah, you can make money on the way up and the way down. And I've listened to enough investors, experienced investors, where they say, yeah, never stop wholesaling because you're gonna always make money wholesaling. Like you can always make money wholesaling. This is from OGs. It's been in the game 20 years. That was in the '08 crash. Yeah, I wasn't in the game at that time. Like so, with us going through a downturn, I'm listening to all the people that was in that.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's why you need to always be seeking knowledge. Yeah. Like I'm listening to the people that was in that experience.
That's good.
Hearing what they say. They say, yeah, just keep wholesaling. Like, or you need to do turnkey flips now, or you need to do this. Like it's different it's different strategies for different times.
Yeah.
Like, but you can wholesale the whole entire time.
That's good. So okay, let's talk about how you went from wholesaling to becoming an investor. Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's dope that you have made that transition. I think that should be the goal for anybody who's in the business. As far as that, you should go from being the one creating deals to creating deals for yourself. So let's talk about that.
So yeah, when I made all that money in wholesaling, the good thing I did do during that time was invest in a 60-unit apartment building.
Nice.
Like, so we own a 60-unit apartment building in Akron. So the way I got in that deal, when I was first wholesaling, when I'm doing a deal here and there, I had a job as a property manager for this investment company.
Nice.
It was a startup investment company. And in my book, Real Estate Investment Strategies, that's what I kind of talk about. You can get in real estate a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to just wholesale. You don't have to buy a rental. You don't have to flip a house. You can get a job. Yeah. Like, you can get a job for an investor. Like, I always recommend get a job for a startup or somebody that's going to teach you something.
Yeah.
Don't just get a job. Like, I don't like, well, I'm not going to say I don't like it, but I'm not for getting a job just to have a job. You want to get a job that's going to teach you something.
Yeah.
Like, so when I was a property manager for that investment company, they were a startup. They had like 4 buildings at the time. I helped them scale up. I was their only employee. So I helped them scale up to owning 6 buildings of over like 110 units. But during that time, I'm learning property development. I'm learning project management. Nice. I'm learning what it takes to run a building. I'm learning the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to run the numbers. I'm looking. I'm like, y'all about to make how much off of this? Like, so I'm helping them. I'm learning.
Cap rate and all that good stuff.
I'm learning and I'm helping them at the time. So I'm providing. I overworked that job. Like my salary was super low.
Yeah.
Like super low. Anybody else would have not took that job. They didn't have that much money to give. But I overworked that job because I wanted to help them, and 2, I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
As much as possible. Every older person I would meet, they'd be like, how old is you? I was probably like 23, 24 at the time. They're like, man, you 24 years old and you like working on these buildings and stuff? Like, just keep learning. Keep learning. That's what they will always say. Just keep learning as much as you can. So yeah, I'm working with them, learning development, help them scale their business up, and then perfect timing. God works in mysterious ways. So as I'm closing, as I got better in my wholesaling business, when we made that $100,000 in 6 months, I got an opportunity to leave my job and take on this project. So in that group, it was about 6 members. One of the members left the group and asked me to come join them on this project. Because I know, since I did so well for them, he's like, project development, property management, you know the process.
Come on in.
Come on with me.
That's what's up.
I'm like, all right, bet. And people don't know, I negotiated my equity in that deal.
That's what's up.
That was another thing, because like when you're not coming from a place of need, it's really mindset stuff. But when you're not coming from a place of need, you're gonna ask for what you're worth. I'm not taking this unless I got equity in this.
That's that episode.
Like, I'm not taking this unless I got some equity. That's like, dope. So he was providing me equity, but I'm like, I need a little more. He was like, all right, you want a little more? You're gonna have to put up some money. I'm like, bet. I've been making money. Like, so I put up some money. So now I'm an investor on both sides. So a little gem. So us as the developers, we own a certain percentage of the building just from developing the building. The rest of the building is all investors.
I know that.
Yeah, so most apartment deals, it's two sides. It's the investors and the developers. The developers make their money because they own a portion just from developing the building. Like just from managing the project, doing the work, managing the process. The investors, they invest in their money. That's where most of the money comes from. But they just sitting back. That's the beauty that they get. They invest in their money, but they just sitting back. Like, so all of us, we own a piece from being the developers, and we own a piece because we put money on the investment side as well. I definitely put the lowest amount in that building because they got money. Yeah. Like, that was one thing I learned too. I'm like, y'all got how much to put in on the building? I'm like, man, I don't think my family made that in a whole lifetime. But that's the thing, you get in different circles, you can feel like 50,000 ain't no money to them. They're like, oh yeah, I can put 50,000 up. I can put 100,000 up. I'm like, you got 100,000 laying around? Yeah. Like, but you learn them things. 100,000 ain't that much money. You look at it on a different level. Yeah. So yeah, I negotiated my equity in that deal. We got it. I was 20. I'm 29 now. I was 26 when we got that deal. So I owned a 60-unit building at 26 years old. Like, and then it's been a project. I mean, it's been a process since then. I was telling them before, we had a fire at one point. That was a blessing in disguise, I'll say, because I got to learn disaster restoration. Yeah. Like, it was crazy. I was at the building when the fire happened. Like, it was crazy. We had to get everybody out. Like, it was like a movie scene, honestly. But I got to learn. One of my partners in the building, he's been through this before. Yeah. So he came up. He was like, all right, calm down. Like, calm down. The fire department, they gonna do their job. Our job is just to make sure the tenants is good. Let's call this church down the street. Make sure all the people can go to this church. They're gonna give them some food. The Red Cross is gonna come. They're gonna make sure that they got money to go to hotels and all this stuff. Like, so I'm like, all right. So shout out to my partner Carl. He was the one that helped me through that disaster. Like, so yeah, we had a fire that kind of set us back a good bit, but that's why you always have insurance on your property. You can't buy a building though without insurance. Right. You can't buy a building, but if you got a house, get insurance. You never know when you're gonna have a fire or a flood or whatever. If you don't got insurance, now you shit out of luck, and now you gotta figure out you gotta sell the house for dirt cheap. Right. To me, like, because
insurance if you get a hard money loan as well. I feel like you gotta have insurance if you get a hard money loan as well. So.
Yeah, so insurance, it protects everybody. Yeah. Like, it protects you and protects the loan that you got, protects people in the building, because they gave us money for the rents that we missed out. Like, they gave us money for everything. I'm like, what? Like, they gave us money for everything.
They got insurance, y'all. Don't.
Yeah, make sure you got insurance on every piece of property that you own. Yeah. But yeah, so now we're in the process of refinancing the building. Everybody's gonna get their return. We basically did a burst strategy on an apartment building.
Oh, snap.
And that's another thing in the book. I say, like, a lot of strategies work together.
I'm sorry. Let's break down.
Bird down.
Yeah, break the bird down.
Oh yeah. So bird is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. Like, so you buy a property, then you renovate it, then you rent it out. Then you refinance with the bank. Refinance means you go to the bank and say, hey, evaluate our property, tell us how much it's worth. They're going to give you 80% of that. Yep. Like, so usually that 80% is a lot more than what your original money in was. Like, so you get that return, plus you keep the property. You're going to be cash flowing because you're going to have a nice low interest rate. You're going to be cash flowing positively, and you still own the property.
I didn't know you can do an apartment.
Yeah, you can do a bird strategy. A lot of these strategies, that's why you want to always be seeking knowledge, because you learn that a lot of these things work together. Like, I didn't know, they didn't call it that when we bought the building, but I'm like, this is basically what we're doing. Right. Like, because it was run down, out of 60 units, it was only 10 occupied at the time. Like, it was a big project. That's why it took so long. Like, but we bought it, rehabbed it, refinanced it, rented out, refinanced it, and we're going to repeat after that. So yeah, I'm learning. Like, I'm the youngest one in the group with the investment on the apartment bill. I'm the youngest one, so I'm just soaking up knowledge, really, because really all these things that I'm learning, I want to do for our people. Yeah. Like, because a lot of these things we're just not exposed to. Yeah. I would have never thought. Like, remember you said, like, I want to wholesale from kindergarten. I didn't think I was gonna own an apartment building. Yeah. Coming out of college, high school, even when I first started, I didn't think I would be in that position. But between helping other people, I help them investors build their business. Working on yourself, I'm working on my personal business, so I got some money and I'm learning things, consistently learning, like, and just putting yourself in the right places, like putting yourself in the right places and building good relationships, give value.
Yeah.
Like I'm here today because you can provide value for me, I can provide value for you. Yeah, and you a good man, you a good brother. Same thing for the Woo. Like we exchange value constantly, but that's the fun part about business.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part about wholesaling, because you gotta meet people in wholesaling.
Yeah.
Like you gotta talk to people, but you gonna end up meeting lifetime friends. Like you're gonna end up meeting great people. I met some of the greatest people I've ever known in my life.
I was on Nick's page, and I'm like, I know you know Nick, man. Mm-hmm. I've been knowing Nick since we was 15, bro.
I seen that picture. I'm like, oh, y'all go way back.
We go way back, bro.
Nick. I didn't know. I helped him close his first wholesale deal. Yeah, I didn't know. Like I was in the business for like a year at that point, but I was still like slow motion.
Yeah.
But he sent me this deal. I met him at Beyond Winds. He had an event.
Okay.
Like, and that's the thing. Go to events. You never know. I made so much money with Nick, bro.
That's what's up.
Like just by going to this meeting. So I went to that meeting, Beyond Winds meeting. Meet this guy, super motivated. I'm super motivated too.
Yeah.
We just end up clicking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so then literally a week later, he sent me a deal. I'm like, oh, this look good. I'm gonna send it out to my buyers.
Mm-hmm.
We closed it. It was a $10,000 spread. We split it. He made $5,000. I made $5,000. Ain't nothing better in a relationship.
Right. You make money.
Than both of y'all making money.
That's
right.
A fact.
Like, so he made $5,000. I made $5,000. Me and Nick probably since then we probably did like, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 deals somewhere in there, because you do so many deals.
Yeah.
Like 5 to 10 deals. I probably made 30,000 just from that relationship with him.
My first deals with Nick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and see, we all sharing the wealth.
Yeah,
like we all
dope.
Giving value to each other.
That's
why I love wholesaling, because you can't be selfish in this business.
Yeah.
Like you can't be selfish. That's what I learned too. When I was full of myself making all that money, I stopped remembering I need other people.
Yeah.
Like you can't close every deal yourself.
Right.
Like sometimes you don't have a buyer, but I got my buyer database. The Woo got his own buyer database. Like I got a deal, none of my buyers wanted. Let me send it to him.
Yeah.
Maybe he got a buyer. Oh yeah, I got a buyer. They wanted it at this price. Bet. We come to the closing table, split the money. I'm not mad. I was teaching somebody wholesaling, and then he was like, "Why would I give them 50% of the deal?" I'm like, "How much was you gonna make? How much was you gonna make if you didn't send him the deal?"
Right. 0.
You was gonna make 0.
Yeah.
Is 5,000 better than 0?
Exactly.
Yes, that's easy math. Like easy math, and you building relationships.
Yeah.
Cause he closing this deal for you. Next time he got a deal, he might send it back.
Right.
It's another dude. I literally just met him this year on Instagram. He one of us sent each other a deal. I can't remember who sent who a deal, and then we closed it. And then the next week, I sent him a deal.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. He sent me a deal because I remember who the buyer was. He sent me a deal. We ended up closing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bet. Literally a week later, I sent him a deal. I'm like, hey, I ain't gonna buyer for this. You got a buyer for it?
Mm-hmm.
He ended up finding a buyer. We probably made like 10,000 in a month, like just from Instagram.
Wow.
Like, but that's why I love real estate. That's why I love wholesaling. It's the best way to get started in real estate, because you learn so much and you meet so many people. You don't know when you're gonna meet your next business partner.
Yeah.
Like you can meet your next business partner just by walking outside and talking about what you do. That's
Yeah.
another hurdle people gotta get over. Talk about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like talk about what you're doing. Let people know what you're doing. Be proud of it. Like we all got that insecurity, or you scared to get started in something, but like, bruh, don't nobody care at the end of the day. Like, what, you scared? I don't want my grandma seeing this. Man, if you gonna do it big, she gonna see it eventually.
Yeah.
Like, my family, I'm sure my family gonna watch this. Shout out to y'all. But my family didn't believe in what I was doing until I just kept doing it.
Yeah, we consistent with it.
Yeah, I'm consistent with it. They like, you don't want to, first off, when I dropped from engineering school,
mm-hmm.
my dad like, you dropping out of engineering school? Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I had to take that leap of faith and believe in myself.
Yeah, that's good.
I got to believe in myself. Like, I don't want to do that. I know I can do better things and bigger things without getting an engineering degree and being an engineer, slaving for 70 hours a week. No.
How do you feel when he found out you was doing what you was doing?
He was like, they was all confused, so I never explained, because it's hard to explain what we do to somebody older that has no knowledge. Yeah, they like, is that illegal?
Don't you have a license for that?
did you have a lawyer look at this? I'm like, bruh. So like that's what I just stopped telling them stuff and just showing my results.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's what I told my brother. I'm like, bro, just don't explain everything. Like sometimes you just gotta do it, and then they go. That's not even just for your parents. That's for everybody. People don't believe in you until they see you doing it successfully. But you only gonna do it successfully if you stop caring about other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Like stop caring about what this person gonna think, what this person gonna say, cause what they not about to put no money in your pocket. Like, and they not if they messing up your energy to move towards your goal. My goal is here, and you listen to this person telling you, "Oh, you should do this." Oh, I don't know if you should do that. Oh, is that legal? Is that this? Man, there's millionaires telling you that you can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's people way more successful than them telling you that you can do it.
Right.
Don't listen to the person that you grew up with that ain't doing nothing big either. Like, yeah, that's your dog, that's your friend, but like, man, you gotta learn who to listen to for certain things.
No,
you gotta compartmentalize this people information. Everybody, all the information from everybody ain't working.
Because it's funny you say that, because I feel like people see it from perspective what you little cousin, you little bro, you know what I'm saying, you little whatever.
And they mean it with love, like they showing love, but at the same time, you gotta believe in yourself.
That's right.
Like you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta know that you can do it. Nobody see your dream but you.
Yeah.
Like nobody would have seen what my goals was but me. I used to lock myself in a room and just work. Like when I was just learning, like even when I started my athletic performance training business, I was living with my nana at the time. I would just be in my room for hours learning business stuff.
Yeah.
Like just learning as much as I could until I got to the point where I'm like, all right, you can only learn so much. I'm gonna have to step out the room and get to it.
What they call it? They call it
analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis. Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna sit in your room for months and years and not put no work in. Like at some point, you got to get out in the field and do it. And that's the best knowledge you're gonna get. Yeah, build yourself a foundation, learn as much information as you can. But at a certain point, you gotta step off. You gotta jump off the porch.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned about the friends and family. I heard Jim Rome once say, he said, "What happens if you got a cup of coffee and your worst enemy accidentally drops sugar in your coffee?" And he's like, "Nothing, you know, it's just sugar and coffee." What happens if your best friend drops strychnine by accident in your cup of coffee? You're gonna die.
Yeah.
He said, so pay close attention to what's going in your coffee.
Yeah, that's
because sometimes it don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if your worst enemy or best friend. They all could give you good or bad information.
That's good.
Right? So you're better off focusing on the people who has the results that you're looking to create and taking the feedback information from them versus somebody who has good intentions.
Yeah.
But they can still be giving you poison.
Ooh.
That's a fact.
That's good right there.
Yeah, you gotta watch. Like I learn from everybody. Like, I learn from everybody I meet, every single person, whether it's something good or bad. Like whether it's something I should be doing or not do.
Yeah. I
learn from everybody. But one thing, if you getting too much information that you shouldn't do, you might not be in the right room either.
Ooh. That's
like
good.
if I'm around certain people and I'm just learning constantly what I should not do, maybe you should get in another room.
Yeah.
Like, cause I want to be in the rooms where I'm learning more of what I should be doing.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of these real estate meetings are. A lot of these real estate meetings is people that's in the position that you want to be in. Saying, hey, you should do this, or you should consider this. How do you do this? Like, versus people saying, I wouldn't do that shit. Or they gossiping about some stuff that don't matter, talking about some BS that don't matter.
Right.
Like, no, get yourself in a room or around some people that are doing something, accomplishing something, working towards something. Good. Like, you don't know what you can learn. Like, you don't know what you can learn, what information you can get, or who you can help. You might help somebody that's going to come back a year later and drop a bag on you, like have a nice deal for you.
Yeah.
Like you never know. So always be good to people. Nurture your relationships. Like
that's good.
Nurture those relationships, because relationships gonna take you way farther than pitching pennies, trying to get every single dollar out of every deal, because people gonna look at you funny.
Right.
Like I don't care if I'm making less doing business with you. We're gonna do business for the rest of our life.
Right.
Like that's why I tell people, I'm like, man, you're gonna be in this business. Most of the younger people in real estate, in the Cleveland real estate market, I always say, like, we got to keep just building our relationship and doing business, because we're going to be in this business for a long time.
Right.
Like, we young. Like, we going to be in this business for a long time. I want to be like the OGs that be 80. They just coming to the meetings just looking to invest in something. But, like, they got relationships with everybody in there. They got a connection to everybody. Everybody know them. They did deals. They own half the city or whatever. Like,
that's funny. You mentioned Beyond Winds. You know, I think we met in his class initially.
Yeah, we did.
You know, and
I think it was that same one.
Same one.
Yeah, it was that same class. Yeah.
And I went to multiple. I was lucky enough to be able to spend a lot of time with him, like one-on-one, because I saw opportunity. He wanted somebody who could start chauffeuring around while he video recorded, making Instagram videos and like stuff like that. I was like, yo, I got availability right now. It's perfect timing.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to kind of chauffeur him around for a while and really see him go to different projects, conversations with contractors, seeing projects in the process, acquiring deals, talking to tenants. I saw it all. So, like you said, like for somebody like him, he really drives the message of relationship. That's all. If you ever hear him talking, it's all he's ever talking about is the value. He's like, y'all wanna know how I got these great deals? Relationships.
And it don't make sense to you if you're not in the business or haven't done enough business. Like it don't make sense. Like why you keep saying it's these relationships? You learn that these relationships bring different opportunities to you. If you provide value, that's another thing too. You provided value for them by being able to drive them around. People too scared to do some work for free.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you learn, you got $1 million worth of game just by driving somebody around.
Yep. And then think about it like this, man. Once you're in the game for a while and you building those relationships and the relationships keep getting deeper and deeper, you know, it's to the point now where everybody that talks about Cleveland, like, you know, when they're thinking like, hey, who's the go-to person? They be like, oh, Beyond Win. You know what I'm saying? Like he's training people.
His name's anonymous now, man.
Yeah, he's on EYL. Like he's been to London with those guys, speaking on stage and big platforms. And I've seen deals come to him for free. Like you be thinking like, oh, you know, 20,000 is a deal, or like free.
Yeah.
Like people just hand him a deal. Like somebody gave him a list and was like, hey man, just go pick the ones you want.
Man.
And was like, and told him literally like, tell me the price and whatever you say is cool with me. Can you imagine they give you a list of properties and say, go look at these, whatever ones you want, they're yours, and you tell me how much you want to give me for them.
Right.
That's relationships.
Relationships
Providing value to each other.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't even have no value to give yet, like figure something out.
Right.
Or just encourage that person. Tell them like I like what you're doing. Keep it up. You inspiring me. Like little things like that help too. You don't got nothing to provide. At least provide some encouragement. Or
you know what? One of my mentors told me there's 2 ways to get in with somebody who's doing big things. Like when they're on a higher level, either gonna pay your way in or you're gonna serve your way in. A lot of times, they get to a point where they like, I understand you want to like take me out for lunch and all that, or try to help me out. I ain't got the time, but I got this program you can buy. You want some exclusive mentorship? Here's what it costs. But every once in a while, before I drove from, I paid for coaching. But because I paid for coaching, I got in the door. I saw an opportunity to also serve to take it to another level. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself and your knowledge, right? And pay somebody to teach you and educate you, and then find ways to serve beyond that. Because then you're going to be the one that they say, okay, come to me with this deal.
Right.
Or go look at this deal for me, evaluate it. Or, hey, if you look at this, I'm going to randomly, like, they don't even say it. They just cash out you some money for going and checking on multiple properties for them. But you'll never get into that space unless you sometimes pay your way in and then serve your way higher.
Provide some type of value. Money has value.
Exactly.
Like, money talks. Like, so paying somebody to do something, I'm sure all of us get asked, like, hey, can you mentor me? Like, a lot of people ask to get mentored, but like, man, I can't. You know how busy I am?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to grow and scale my business. Like, that's why I'm making my course now. We're finishing up my course.
I was about to say, I want to get into that, man.
Yeah, that's why I'm finishing up my course now. I'll give you an exclusive too. Next year, 2023, I'm going to help 10 people build a 6-figure real estate business.
That's dope.
Fire.
I'm helping 10 people build a 6-figure real estate wholesaling business next year. So, like, but you got to pay to get in. Like, but you provide me value, and I'm giving you a ton of value.
Right.
Like, a ton of value. Like, but you gotta give value to be able to get the time or effort or knowledge from these people. Like, if you see somebody doing what you want to do, more than likely they are super busy, because it takes hard work to be successful.
Right.
It takes a lot of time to be successful.
You said something interesting earlier, and I think some of the viewers might be like, but you said you only work a couple hours a week, right? You ain't that busy. But look, let me help for those who think that, right? Or if that thought crossed your mind, because I was like, somebody gonna think that, right? You gotta say he was snowboarding, yeah, playing golf, he waking up when he want to. Like, you got time,
right?
But you gotta understand, like, there was a period of time where you sacrifice a lot of time,
right,
to get where you
that's
are.
good.
Like you're condensing time frames for that person.
Yeah.
Because you've done something for years and hundreds or thousands of hours of doing that thing.
That's good.
So now for them, you're helping them condense the time frame, so they don't have to go through the multiple years and research and all these YouTube videos that you watched initially and the hours in your bedroom. Like you've earned the time to be able to lay back some time and have some freedom, and you got employees that can do things, so you don't have to be tied into your business more than a few hours a day. But you've earned that.
Yeah,
so
my off time is busy time because I plan on doing nothing. Like, if I plan on doing nothing, that's still time out of my day.
Exactly.
Like you're not about to, you know how many phone calls? Because sometimes I'll take a call.
Yeah.
Every now and then, you end up on the phone with them for 1-2 hours. They ain't about to do none of that work.
No.
I just used 2 hours. I could have been with my son. I could have been doing something with my girl. I could have been doing whatever.
Yeah.
Like I just spent 2 hours trying to motivate this person.
Yeah.
Like, but like I don't know. It's I like helping people, but yeah, like you gotta provide. You gotta give something. Like it don't always have to be money. Provide something. If that person don't have nothing for you to give, sometimes I'm like, bro, I don't need no more employees. Like right now, I'm capped out. I don't need nothing else. Like, but once I drop this program, or once I got this opportunity for you, I'm gonna hit you up. So literally every single person that is asking me for mentorship, I'm going straight back to that text message or DM or whatever. Like, hey, I got something for you.
Yeah.
Like, cause I wanna build a community around it. It's not just gonna be me. Like, it's gonna be the community of people that I bring in.
Yeah.
We all helping each other learn, close deals, exchange deals, build knowledge, like all that. I'm gonna be bringing in different people that's good in different things.
Yeah.
Bringing in people that's good at credit. Get your credit right.
That's good.
Bring in somebody that's good at flipping, like specifically. Like they'll teach you how to do that. Bring somebody that's good at structuring your business. Bring somebody that's good at hiring people. Like I want to be able to. That's why I call my class or my school More Assets Academy, because I want to be able to give us an opportunity to build more assets.
Yeah.
Like that's what we missing the most in the black community. We don't have no assets. That's why we don't have any power, any control, because we don't own anything.
Yep.
Like we don't own anything. You need an asset. A business is an asset. Property is an asset. Stocks is an asset. Anything where you can create value. A relationship is an asset.
Yeah.
Like relationships are the biggest assets that you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Like, cause it's gonna take other people to help you get to that top that you want to be at. Like, so you got to be able to build more assets. So I want to.
Thank you, brother, by the way.
So yeah, that's why I want to. I just want to help us and help the people that just want to be better. Like everybody don't want it. Everybody don't have to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like, but it's a lot of people out there that want to do more. That want to quit their job.
Yeah.
That want to have an opportunity to take themselves, their wife, their husband, their kids on a trip.
Yeah.
And they don't break their pockets. Like it's people that want to be able to have multiple houses, have residual income coming in. It's people that want to do all these things. Like, but it's just you just lacking the information. Like most of the time, 99% of the time, you just don't have the information and or the resources to get it done.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why I want to be able to provide the information and the resources and me and my time and everybody else to be able to help others to get to where they want to be.
So listen, and I want to thank you for being here tonight, man. Because once again, you take time away from your family, man, from what you got to do. But thank you, man. So, and y'all hope y'all listen, because this is value. Like, he giving y'all straight game. So I appreciate you, man. But we talked about the past. We talked about the present. Let's talk about the future. What's next up for you, man? What do you have coming up for you in your business?
So next up, like I said, the top of the year, I'm gonna be helping 10 people build a 6-figure real estate business. So just follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna announce it. Probably just slide in my DMs, and I'm gonna have that. So, cause really now that I'm building my business, scaling it, scale it even higher. Hire a couple more people to do a couple more, fill in a couple more parts of my business. Grow this business to where I ain't gonna put a dollar amount on it, but I want to be making 5 to 6 figures a month. All right, honestly.
Yeah, I'm about to quit tomorrow.
Yeah. I want to be making 5 to 6 figures a month, and like once you start being consistent with your business or hiring people, you can kind of look at the numbers and say like, all right, if I want to make this much, I need to reach out to this many people. I need to get this many contracts.
Yeah.
I need to consistently get buyers. Like, you can kind of calculate it.
Right.
So yeah, I want to build my business. I like to live in the present mostly because like people ask me what's my 5-year goal. I'll be like, I don't know, be 5 times better
right.
than where I am right now. Like, so I try to focus on now because the future ain't even real yet.
No, I feel that.
Like, the future ain't real and the past is gone.
Yeah, no.
Like, so yeah, I just want to build my business, acquire more apartment buildings. That's definitely a goal.
Yeah.
Acquire more apartment buildings, raise my son, just help people.
Yeah.
Like, I like helping. That's why I drop so much content. I like helping people.
By the way, yeah, you about to say you inspired me, bro. I gotta put some more content. I say all this real, just going. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, because that started off with me. I was recording myself, mentoring people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm teaching people how to wholesale, and I'm just recording myself. And then as I'm recording myself, I'm like, damn, I was dropping some gems in there. I'm like, man, I was dropping some gems in there. I started cutting it up and just putting it on Instagram. I'm like, well, somebody else need this.
Yeah.
Put it out, and then I'm like, all right, let me like really get consistent with this. So a lot of my videos, people be asking me like, is you talking to somebody? I am talking to somebody. My brother on the other side asking me questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just started just dropping consistent content because people would come up to me and say like, bro, I was watching this video and it inspired me to do this. I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about that. Like that's probably the best part about me just putting myself out there more is people will let me know like, hey, this inspired me to do this, or I didn't know that. You inspired me to do this with my business, or start this, or put my money here, or whatever. So yeah, definitely dropping more content. My YouTube is starting. I just want to put out as much information as possible, as much things that's gonna help people. Because at the end of the day, when I'm dead and gone, I want to be able to be an asset to the world.
See, he took my question, Steve. He took my legacy question.
Yeah, I want to be able to be an asset to the world. Like, I want my time on this earth. I'm 29 now. Like, in 29 years, I want my 29 years to have helped as many people as possible.
That's good, man.
I just want to be an asset to the world. Like, at the end of the day, because we all gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, it's
inevitable.
Yeah, it's inevitable. We all gonna die. So why not do as much as you can while you're here? That's another thing that inspired me every day. I'm like, man, I could die tomorrow. So let me make sure I do as much as I can today, like to move the needle forward, help this person, help my network, help my family, like do whatever, because we can be dead and gone on any day. But imagine if I lived to 80 years old. Imagine you lived to 80 years old and you spent every day trying to be better. You know how much wisdom you're going to have. You know how much things you will have done by that time.
Right.
That's why I say, like, somebody asked what you want to do in 5 years. I want to be 5 times better because I want to be better every single year, every single day, every month, every minute in my life. I want to just keep getting better, whether something good or bad happening.
Yeah.
Like, bad stuff happens every day. People pass away, you lose money, you lose deals, you did something wrong, like, but you wake up. If you wake up another day, you got another opportunity to make it right, to do better, to learn from that.
That's
like,
right.
we don't take losses, it's all lessons.
All
like,
lessons.
you learn it consistently. So if you constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly building, you're going to look back and be like, damn, like I did a lot in this lifetime. That's why, like, even people would say, like, some of my friends would be like, bruh, remember when you did this, or remember you did that? I'd be like, no, I don't even remember that stuff.
But they remember,
like,
though.
Yeah, they remember, like, it impacted them. Like, but
great.
I'm so tunnel vision, I'm going so hard, just trying to do what I'm trying to do. Like, I don't even remember, but I listen to a lot of interviews of successful people, and they all say the same thing. They be like, man, I don't be remembering, but I'm constantly just doing things to grow. I'm constantly trying to grow. So I'm trying to grow. I want everybody around me to grow, my whole entire network of people, everybody that's that looks to me as a mentor, a friend, family, whatever. I just want to help as many people as possible.
That's good.
Like, help everybody grow in some type of way.
Hey, I think we should all strive for that, bro. I think if we all did that, the world would be a better place. But that's dope stuff. All right, so I got 2 last questions. These are, like I said, I like to say we got staple questions or whatnot. And it's a new one, and I tried it with Karen right before you got here. I'm gonna try it on with you or whatnot. So the whole purpose of bringing of us having to pull up was, Cleveland has a stigma. The stigma is people think Cleveland is not a place where you get support or where people will work with you or whatnot. But you are evidence that obviously works. What do you think is gonna take for us as a city to make sure we change that stigma around?
That's a good question. So, the best way to help the people around you is to first help yourself.
Ooh.
Like, help yourself. A lot of us is brainwashed. A lot of us just like a lot of us have negative mindsets from where we come from. Like, it's not too much positive things going on around us. Yeah. Like, it's not too much positive.
Cleveland is
but at the same time, that's because of where our circles used to be. When you start putting yourself in different environments, you like, oh, it is a lot of positive stuff going on here. Yeah. Like, for example, I grew up on the east side of Cleveland. Most people on the east side of Cleveland don't go to the west side. Like, we don't go to the west side. I met a friend, she started taking me over to the west side. I'm like, I didn't even know this stuff was here.
Yeah, beautiful.
Like, I'm like, man, it's beautiful.
The west side, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful over here.
I grew up on the east side too, so I know.
Yeah, it's beautiful over here. It's all these different restaurants. You got Edgewater. You got all this different stuff. I'm like, oh, so you gotta find, even if you live in the worst conditions, you gotta find the beauty in whatever you in. Like, cause that's what's gonna help you grow and inspire to just be better. So yeah, first help yourself. Get your mind right. Learn about yourself. Like, learn about just the things that you're missing. Like, there's a book for everything.
Yeah.
There's a book for everything. There's a podcast for everything. There's a person that's went through everything that you've gone through personally. Like, so seek guidance, seek knowledge, seek understanding. That's the biggest thing. Seek understanding. Our biggest problem is we don't try to understand other people. You on that side, I'm on this side, F your side. Like, no, take time to get understanding of this person. Like, see where they coming from. Knowledge plus wisdom builds understanding.
Ooh, that's good.
Like, knowledge and wisdom builds understanding. So if I got knowledge of where you from, and then the wisdom comes from the real life, like, how does that affect you in your life? Like, how do you move with that went on to you? Oh, I understand why you feel like that. I don't have to agree, but I understand where you're coming from. That's a lot of what's wrong with us as a people, as black people. We don't take the time to understand or just talk in general. Yeah. Like, you gotta take the time to like listen sometimes. We too busy trying to talk or just too firm in what we got going on. Like, this ain't nothing good about to come from this argument. Ain't nothing good about to come from this argument. Take the time to sit back, just see where they coming from. Be like, all right, give me my time to speak. Like, I'll say what I got or what I feel about this, and then we can agree to disagree. Like, that's it. But yeah, as far as Cleveland, it's just gonna take. It's a lot of our responsibility, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I take it as a man, as a black man, as a man from Cleveland, knowing where we grow up in and our environment and what we're seen as. Everything that we're in is because of the people that came before us. Yeah. Now we grown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we grown. Like, the kids.
We the adults now.
Yeah, we the adults now. And I always say, like, the kids need new idols. Like, the kids need new idols. We the new idols. Now, like, because all we grew up, of course, we all grow up in, or a lot of us grow up in, just not having an abundance of money. Even if you wasn't poor, a lot of us just don't have an abundance of money, resources, access. So the only people that we see that's successful is the NBA player, the football player, the actors, and the drug dealer. Yeah. That's pretty much it, because that's what we see. You go off of what you see. So now that's why I say we got to tell people what we do, because these kids need to see that you can make money without using your cash and credit and real estate. They need to see that you can make money public speaking. They need to see that you can make money with a podcast, being an agent, being a videographer. Like, they need to see this stuff. So they know, like, all right, I don't have to go to the NBA. You short. You probably not going to go. Like, you short. I'm 5'10". Once I realize I'm only going to be 6 feet, I'm like, I should probably stop trying to go to the NBA. Yeah. Like, you got to let these kids see, because they're very impressionable. Yeah. And the music, that's a whole nother conversation. The music kind of is so mesmerizing. The music be so good, or just so mesmerizing sometimes, that they think that that's life. Yeah. Like, so, yeah, we grew up kind of knowing the difference between good and bad. Yeah. The music still influence us in a way, but we kind of know the difference now, since we in the technology age. Like, we grew up on no technology, then we got technology. Yeah. They growing up with iPads at 1 year old. Yeah. I'm born with an iPad. Yeah. Kids 6 months old know how to work an iPad.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. So they going off of what they see. Like, all we saw was what was on TV. We just had cable. We see the basketball players. see the football players, we see the actors and actresses,
Yeah.
and we go outside to see the drug dealers. They're the only people that we see successful. So now since they're gonna be on this phone, it's inevitable they're gonna be on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be on YouTube. So we need to put out as much good energy as possible, so these kids can see like, hey, you don't have to be that.
That's good.
You can be whatever you want. Honestly, they used to tell us that, but like it ain't real. It wasn't real. Cause like I'm gonna be whatever I want. I can't even get into college, or I can't even do this. Like you can really be whatever you want. Be yourself, and learn what avenue you gonna use to be successful, to give back to the world, to bring value to the world. Business is bringing value.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize that a business means you're bringing value to the world. We spend so much money on iPhones because they're so convenient.
They are.
They giving us so much value. It's so easy for me to connect with you. I can FaceTime you. I can send you all type of stuff because it's so convenient. That's why I'll pay $1,000 for the phone.
Yeah.
Like any business that you know, this winery, they provide a service. They provide value. I can come here and get some wine that tastes great. Like you gotta figure out how you're gonna give back to the world and give value to the world that's positive. So yeah, it's on us to help cause I don't want to say like the people that's older is long gone, but you know how older people be stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
Like so
that's
we gotta our focus should be on helping these kids and just helping younger people see that there's other things to do.
That's good.
Like that's a fact. Just it's other things to do.
That's good. And okay, so I'm close out, and this is one of the things that I'm a fan of podcasts. I watch them all. I watch Earn Leisure at Work. I watch, Source of Proof. I watch them all. And I think that a good podcast, a person should be able to have 3 things just to take away from the episode. So what are 3 things you think someone take away from the episode tonight?
Definitely. So one thing I'll say you should take away from the episode is it don't matter where you come from or what your starting point is. Like I said, I started in real estate with negative $300. If I can start with negative $300 and no experience, no nothing, like you can build whatever you want.
You can do it too.
Like it just your mindset is gonna be the biggest thing. Like a lot of us, like I said, we brainwashed. Like a lot of us gotta fix our mindset. Start thinking more positive. Believe that you can do something.
Yeah.
Go if you don't believe it, go watch somebody or look at somebody that is doing it.
That's
like
good.
see, all of us people need each other. Like we all look up to, let's just say LeBron James because we can see that he's a human that went through something and turned it into something exponentially great. Like so, just look for some type of inspiration, but you can start from anywhere. Number 2, I'd say build great relationships. I'm sure most people say that, but I'm gonna just say it again. Like,
what you mean?
I'm gonna say it again. Like nurture your relationships, build good relationships. Don't burn any bridges.
That's good.
Like I got a couple bridges that I could have burned because they might have did me wrong. But at the same time, even if I don't choose to do business with you no more, bro, you still a human being. I hope you well.
Ooh,
I want you to do good. You got a family. You got friends.
Yeah.
You got people that need you. I want you to do good. I just may not choose to do business with you.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, just build good relationships and nurture those relationships. Give value. That kind of ties into the relationship thing. Give value. Like, stop asking for so much. Like, give. Like, stop asking for so much. Like, you gotta give to get.
Give to get.
Like, you gotta give to get.
That's good.
Like, you gotta give some type of value to be able to receive. And the third thing I say is be consistent with whatever you want to do. I've seen a lot of people get into wholesaling and stop just because they didn't get their first deal in their first couple months. Like, it took me about 4 months to get my first deal. Some people would take them a year. Some people would take them their first month.
Yeah.
Everybody's story is different. We're all on a journey. Like, we all on a journey. That's why I don't trip on nothing that happened to me today. I'm like, damn, my story about to be crazy. Like, when I building caught on fire, I'm like, damn, my story is about to be crazy. I can't believe I had to deal with a fire. When I had negative $300, even though I had negative $300, I'm like, my story is going to be crazy because it's not the end of me.
Right. Like,
this is not the end at all.
Good.
Like, we all go through tough times. We all got BS going on. We all wake up not feeling like doing nothing sometimes. Like, we all got them emotions, but, like, we're human beings. Like, we're human beings at the end of the day. And it's not, if somebody did it before you, it can be done.
It can be done.
There's people that come from way worse situations than me. I ain't from the projects. We were just in the suburbs not having too much money. Like people come from way worse. There's people in the industry that I do business with right now from the projects, used to sell drugs, but now they turn their life around, making thousands of dollars every week. If they can do it, anybody can do it, man. So yeah, take whatever situation that you're in and build on top of it. Know that when you have bad stuff happen in your life, it's just gonna turn into a great story. Yeah. Most of the best storytellers are people that had the biggest triumphs that go on in their life. Like, so just know when you having a bad day or something bad happened to you, know that's not the end of it. Like, you just gotta internalize, you gotta process it. Mm-hmm. You gotta take it and then, all right, man, that was crazy that happened. What did I learn from that? What is that gonna make me do better tomorrow? Yeah. Like, how am I gonna be a better person tomorrow? What am I gonna do different tomorrow that this taught me? And then do that consistently every single day. You're gonna look up in a year. My life changed in a year. Yeah. Like, once I really started making money and seeing just all the different things, my life changed in a year. Like, I went from being super broke, not knowing how I'm gonna make money, to I just wake up and close a deal for $27,000. Like, close a deal for $27,000. I'm like, man, never did I just make that much money today.
You making reconsider career options, man. I'm like, the most I'm making commission ain't nowhere near what y'all making on spreads, man. So
yeah, man, hey, tap in, man, tap in. It's definitely, I definitely want you to be one of them 10 people that I help build.
Oh yeah, I'm there, bro.
So I want to help as many people as possible.
You got 9 slots now, so y'all
yeah. So I'm gonna help 9 more people. Yeah, like, I'm gonna help 9 more people. But yeah, I just wanna. Like, we just all gotta help each other.
Absolutely,
like,
bro.
We all gotta help each other, man. It takes people to, like, you realize you'll buy all these things. That's one thing I learned too when I was making money. Like, you buy all these things, do all this stuff, but it really don't mean nothing. I'm like, man, I need to, like, spend more time with my mom and dad. I need to spend more time with my girl. I need to, like, go holler at my friends, see what they on. Like, don't abandon the people that was there for you. Yeah. Because them the people that don't care how much money you got. Yeah. Like, my family, my friends, my real friends, they don't care how much money I got, what I'm doing, bro. They just check in and say, bro, how you doing?
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
That's what's up. Like, good, I'm proud of you. I love you. Like, them the things that really mean something in your life. So, man, don't burn no bridges. Build relationships. Be consistent with whatever you're trying to do, because it's going to take a long time to make a lot of money. So, if you think you about to make some money tomorrow, you could. Yeah. But it's going to take you a long time to make a lot of money. So you might as well just be consistent. Give it at least a year of your life and see how that changed your whole entire future.
Listen.
There it is.
I'm about to say, you can't close it better than that, man. You can't close it better than that. Listen, bro, I appreciate you, man. Let people know how they can reach you, because when this drops, hopefully by that time, you know what I'm saying, we'll be looking at the course dropping and whatnot. So
for sure. So yeah, all platforms at Phil Invest. So PHIL INVISTS, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. By the time this come out, I should have something out on YouTube. If not, just subscribe. If not, just subscribe. It's gonna be a lot coming.
We'll have all the show notes, guys, so y'all gotta go.
So yeah, at Phil Invest on all platforms. Just tap in. I'm just trying to give as much value as possible. I'm trying to be motivational to people that need motivation. I'm trying to give information to people that need information. I'm trying to give money to people that need money, like opportunities to people that need opportunities. So yeah, I'm an open book. You just gotta catch me when I ain't working or dealing with my son. Like, if it ain't that time, I got time to make something happen. So yeah, just follow me on them platforms and let's take off.
I appreciate you, bro. I want to thank Phil for coming out tonight. I want to thank that Wolf for co-hosting with us tonight, man. And I want to thank you watching. For once again tuning in, y'all tune in every week and sit down and hear these great stories from great people in our city. And I just can't thank y'all enough, y'all. This is episode 86. 86 episodes, y'all. Listen, we doing it. Roll to 100. We getting there, y'all.
That's a big feat. 86 episodes is a lot of work. If people don't know, that's a lot of work. A lot of consistency. 86 videos. You gotta edit, shoot, post, talk about all that. Like, this stuff ain't easy.
Not easy, but it's worth it though. You know what I'm saying? Because
well worth it.
I want to say, like, I'm not, and it's not even a knock on anybody else in the city, but I don't think anyone is putting out as much as we have, interview as many dope people as we have in the city. Not at one time. Like, maybe spread out. But I want to say we've been for like a year and a half now, I think, Steve. And like, we just going at, and like, it's never we're never run out of dope people to have on the podcast. Like, every time I look up, okay, we gotta reach out to him. Oh no, let's reach out to him.
That's another thing too. You bringing in the people that's doing good in the city. Like, so that's another thing. This podcast is an avenue for somebody to say, like, it is stuff going on in the city. Absolutely. So it ain't all the negative stuff you hear. There's people out here doing great positive things, helping people, building their wealth, building their families, all that. Like,
that was the whole premise of why we even started this and whatnot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's no shade on the people who everybody knows the city, but outside of that, it's a lot of people who people don't know that are doing great things in the city. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point of us even doing this, man. Like I said, I thank people like y'all for coming out. You know what I'm saying? Once again, showing people what is out there. And the whole reason why we doing this once again is to show the youth. You know, so the kids in high school, like, hey, listen, man. I remember when I was growing up, back in the day, entrepreneurship we thought was all a white people thing. You know what I'm saying? We knew back in the day. You get a job with the gas company or with the electric company or ride for RTA, be a bus driver. We thought it was good jobs, you know. But the aspect of entrepreneurship isn't where it is now. So the one thing about the podcast, we have people like him, like that, will showing y'all like it's attainable and y'all can do it too. So
yeah, you can wholesale at any age. Like you can be 18, 17. All you need is an LLC. You can do it at any age. And I own an apartment building at 26 years old. Never thought that would even be in my cards in life. But I own a building at 26 years old. So don't think you too old. Don't think you too young. There's people that get in this business at 40 years old. Now they up.
They up.
They up.
Like I said, I appreciate y'all. So once again, y'all, episode 86, y'all. We'll see y'all next time. All right, peace, y'all.
Peace.